Shizu no Surusagawa Tashi no Mono Ninaru Rasuto Shonsu Shisuta. Jakuna.
Round 1. Fight!
You win!
God, I really just hope those English to Japanese translations in TTS were correct. But let's cut to the chase. My sister has become my bestie, but it always wasn't that way. But nonetheless, let's start out with one of my fondest gaslighting experiences from when I was about 4 years old without a single care in the world. And there I was, living the peak of my life, soda can in hand, waving my hips just like I won the lotto, all while listening to the latest off-key R&B single my sister was laying down on her new keyboard in the back. On top of that, at this point, I was basically the equivalent of being kid drunk, because I had already drinking half the Coca-Cola can, and like every drunk fan at every concert, they want to storm the stage and hang out with their favorite celebrity. So I ran over and tried to play the keyboard myself, but Azula wasn't really having it.
Round 2. Fight!
So my dad broke us up and insisted she shared the keyboard, but this thing was tiny, making it hard for us both to fit on it. Also, it didn't help that I was consistently mashing the keys like a young Ludwig, which I am, and for some reason she didn't approve of my musical brilliance because it was clashing with hers, and decided to menacingly run off for a few minutes. She would soon return with one of those toys for babies which lets them play on their back, and place it right behind me. This soon sparked my feral instinct as I knew something was caging me in. Also, by the way, I totally could have easily just walked over it to escape, but no! I could feel my muscles evolving like a young Hulk, and I picked up the toy and noticed she began running away, which made me instinctively yeet it past her for the most insane outcome. And instantly, I could feel a presence in the back of my mind. This was when the Fire Nation was going to attack. So I like to think the next decade of my life was like the show Tom and Jerry, because I would unintentionally do things that would in return cause my sister to plot my utter demise. Such as me walking over to see a cup filled with soda on a hot day, proceeding to chug that ish. Then immediately fleeing the crime scene without knowing that this was all caught on camera. Which ultimately led to my sister walking over and drinking it herself to find out that it was empty, and then she cracked. And with her new advantage in perception, she then rolled a crit and found me waddling away from the crime scene. She then patiently waited until no one was looking to grab one of those kid jeeps that only goes like 10 miles per hour. But like to a kid, 10 miles per hour becomes 100 miles per hour of pure killing death machine coming your way. That was all until...
Sriracha, what are you doing?
But you thought it ended here, didn't you? Later that day I sat on top of a slide just smiling and being a vibe, you know? But with murder still on her mind, she began fuming again, waiting for her turn to go down the slide. And just like that, I found myself flying down the slide like an alpine skier going for the goal. Now you see here, this would have been the bad ending if the Fire Nation won. But let me tell you what it's really like when you're the Avatar. As I reached the end of the slide, I launched extremely high to the point where if I landed, I'd probably break a bone or two at the speed I was going. But with enough plot armor, my grandfather snapped me out of the air with one arm like a baseball. But these battles waged over time, leading to the turning point of the war, also known as the milkshake catastrophe. Now my father had taken us to the local ice cream spot, and for some reason, Sriracha had decided to be the spawn of Satan the whole time. And it only escalated more as we drove home. And once we got out of the car, I had enough.
Yeah, I said it!
I'm gonna throw this milkshake at you if you keep pissing me off.
Then do it, Hal! Do it!
And without any hesitation, I just threw it at her, and this thing exploded everywhere. And it honestly felt like time had frozen for a couple seconds with a moment of satisfaction, until I noticed the shock and anger on Sriracha's face. Instantly in my head, I began writing my wills. I knew this was going to be the end, as she was going to kill me for what I had just done. And after such a long war, I accepted my honorable death until... Hey, yo, dog, you know I was just playing, right? It ain't that serious. You know, we good, right? Yeah, we good, dog. Hey, now, you don't go around doing that shit again or else I'll flip you like a pancake. And just like that, instead of getting Asura's wrath, I got respect, as she didn't think I'd have the balls to throw it. Surely this didn't solve everything, and we still had our fights, especially over the computer. So, moral of the story, toss hands with your siblings. Just do it. Thanks for watching, friends. And remember to subscribe or else we'll toss hands with you, meaning no soft tacos for you. Bye-bye.